TPC Scottsdale, Rock News Jimmy B. Got you covered. We'll be hosting tonight's Chargers-Cardinals game. Joining us now, Rudy Carpenter. Talk Sun Devils first. And Rudy, we just played the comments from Kenny Dillingham after the game on Saturday, where he talked about his kicking challenges. What was your take on that when you first maybe saw it or heard it?
I don't know that I was, that surprised. And I mean, we've seen it in the past. I mean, we've seen Mike Leach do it not too long ago, bring a random kicker that was just a student there and bring him in to kick. I think they saw him on like a halftime kicking contest at one of their home games. I think most of it, though, was probably just frustration, obviously, on Kenny's part. But I think, at the end of the day, he understands that it's going to be hard to really hold open tryouts, find eligible guys, get them on the roster, and then trust them to actually kick in a game. And, obviously, once things calm down, he understands that at some point in this season, they're going to rely more on these kickers, and he doesn't want to completely deflate them and, completely ruin their confidence. So obviously he backtracked a little bit and is going to do some damage control now.
I think the one thing, Rudy, is that you'll probably do more fourth downs. And to your point, how do you get the trust in the kid? You let him kick? Do you go for it? I think that's kind of the conundrum that Kenny Dillingham has at this point in time. But all that being said, watching that game, I thought the Devils, time difference, whatever, got off the bus ready to go and ready to play in that football game against Cincinnati. Stopped them on the opening drive, and they come down and score on their opening drive.
Yeah, I do think that, they were ready to play. I think Kenny and the coaching staff did a good job handling the travel and the time difference. And, they were without their starting quarterback as well. I mean, that makes, a huge difference as well in this football game. I think it was a football game that they could have won, but I think when they look at it, it wasn't just the kicking game. They could have done things on offense. They could have done things on defense that could have changed the outcome of the football game as well.
I thought that Sims, he did a yeoman's job. He didn't really force any issues. Kid's a hell of a runner. He's got a heck of an arm, as you well know, Rudy. And but I thought those fourth down calls early on, 4th and 2, to give Cincinnati the ball on the other side of the field. What are your thoughts on some of these fourth down calls early in the game to swing the momentum like they did with that as they went down and scored after that stop?
I mean, one of the things that I hate a ton, especially on fourth down situations like that, is when you throw the ball, number one, behind the stick, and then number two, even behind the line of scrimmage. For me, I'm just not a huge fan of that. And I'm sure what they're going to say is, we have a quarterback that hasn't, played a ton this year. And, we're trying to give him some easy completions and some easy plays. Well, then in that case, if you don't have enough confidence, just punt the damn ball and at least make them, drive down a further distance to score. It's hard to have it both ways by saying, hey, we want to call, this type of play on a 4th and short, got to have it situation while at the same time trying to protect your quarterback. To me, that's a difficult thing. So obviously it hurt them and they didn't convert and gave the other team obviously great field position.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, in your estimation, it took maybe a couple of years, but now for the top schools, when I say the top schools, maybe the top 75 college football programs, has the transfer portal officially brought parity to college football?
Oh, man. I don't know. That's hard to say. I would like to agree with that. It's hard to say. Obviously you watch these games and you say, Bama's got a couple losses. Clemson isn't the same. Ohio State's not the same. Michigan whatever it may be. And I think you can look at the transfer portal and say, basically because of the transfer portal, it creates a free agency system every year. And with free agency, like the NFL, it creates parity. But it's hard in college football because you don't have the same amount of time to work with these new players and develop these new players to get them ready for the season. But I will say my perspective is as much as I'm old school and I love, the Rose Bowl and all of that type of stuff, for me, I love this conference realignment stuff. I like watching these games every week. You're getting these massive, huge games. I hated watching, Bama play Austin Peay or Ohio State play, Akron. They did this year, but you get my point. I love watching, Penn State play USC on a random Saturday. I love watching Ohio State play Oregon on a random Saturday. I like the way that this conference realignment stuff has worked, especially in the Big 12 and the Big 10, obviously.
Rudy, looking at tonight's game, the Chargers are in town to take on the Cardinals, 6 o'clock kickoff. What are you hoping to see this Chargers team, kind of a ground and pound, if you will? Don't turn the football over. They're dinged up a little bit in their secondary. The Cardinals are dinged up. Well, what can you expect in this game, and what are you hoping to see out of Kyler Murray tonight?
You'd like to see some consistency. You would like to see some explosive plays. Again, for me, I would like to see them figure out what their identity is going to be, although that's hard to just decide what it's going to be now. Unfortunately, I don't know that the Cardinals have a ton of juice, and it's going to probably come down to what the Cardinals defense is able to do. Are they going to be able to stop the run enough? And then on the back end, are they going to be able to slow Justin Herbert down? But if the Cardinals pass rush isn't able to get to Justin Herbert and they're going to let him stand back there and throw the ball, it's going to be, he's a great player. I think he's healthy and playing tonight. I don't all the way know, but I think he's playing. He again, if they can get the run game going and then you allow him to play action pass and stand back there and throw the ball down the field, he can be a pretty difficult guy to stop.
If the Cardinals were to lose this evening, does that pretty much doom them for a possible wild card spot?
I don't know. You never know. And you look at this conference, it's a division. It's an interesting division, obviously, with the Rams where they are, the Seahawks where they're at, and the 49ers where they're at. It's an interesting division. I don't want to say one loss is going to doom their chances, but it's going to make it a lot more difficult, put it that way. I guess if I was to backtrack, one more thing I'd probably like to see is, it would be great to see Marvin Harrison Jr. have a breakout game again, I should say.
That would be a lot of fun. I know a lot of Cardinal fans would love to see that. Rudy, good stuff. Thanks for the time, buddy. Have a good week.
All right, guys. Take care.
That's Rudy Carpenter joining us. You can follow him on Twitter, or X, I should say, Rudy G Carp 12. Appreciate his time. He's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. That's All City Towing. They're hiring customer service personnel, lot attendants, call takers, drivers, dispatchers, and they have great benefits like a healthy 401k employer match. Of course, the health benefits, the employer paid life insurance, and monthly fuel allowance. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, check them out online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Come on out and join us. Speaking of on the move, it's Monday Night Mayhem here at DraftKings in Scottsdale at the TPC Scottsdale Golf Course. We're here till 4 doing our show, and then we'll host the night's game at 6 o'clock. And everyone that comes down, we are giving you a shot to score a $100 NFL Shop gift card. That's right, an NFL Shop gift card. So if you want to wear a jersey of your team when they're not playing, you can use that $100 gift card. Every time there is a touchdown, we will pull a name off the QR code. So when you get here, you'll just take a shot of that QR code, and you'll also be entered in to win a big screen TV at the 2-minute mark. So we encourage you to come on down to join us. It's Rock and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Does